That was a little bit of a short match. They were kind of surprised in the commentary studio that was so one-sided. Were you guys as well?
I wasn't.
Yeah.
No. The Geddons are going to greatly out DPS the Balgorns, and if they play it right, and by play it right, I mean drop drones and run away like you're afraid of them, like they're the boogeyman, which they did. There's not really a lot that they can do wrong, and overall, it's a pretty solid comp. 3 Geddons, a Gnosis for Lynx, 2 Vaxxers for just some additional DPS and some other threats for the other FC to think about, and then 3 Punishers for tackle and screening. Like, that's a really solid setup. Triple Balgorn, we saw it yesterday. We weren't too impressed with it there. I think it worked in the circumstance because they came up against Triple Hyperion, but outside of something like that, it's way too much neuts. It's way too little DPS. I just don't think you get that much out of it. A single Balgorn, I like. More than that, I don't. But the Armageddon does a lot of what the Balgorn does, except for the webbing.
Yeah, I mean, Nulli Secunda came to this match with a surprisingly sensible setup. I'm impressed. Where's the craziness, guys? Maybe ProGod wasn't, allowed out of bed today or something. Actually, interesting tidbit on evebet.com. One guy put 42 billion on Exiled Ones to win.
Oh, he must have been disappointed when he saw the 3 Balgorns.
Or maybe he didn't know anything and decided that was a superior comp.
Yes.
I mean, he did put 42 billion on the Exiled Ones.
I think Exiled One fell prey to a mistake that a lot of newer tournament captains and theory crafters make. And they wanted to create a really scalpel sharp setup focused on doing one thing really, really well, and that's catch people and get rid of their cap. But if you're going to have a scalpel sharp setup like that, it has to focus on some way interacting with the other team's damage, or your damage. It has to either shut down all of their damage, either by tanking all of it, or ECMing all of it out, or something like that, or you just have to do more damage than they do if you want a really scalpel sharp, really just brawler damage setup. You can't come in with some... If getting rid of all of a ship's cap blew it up, that would be a great setup.
True.
But unfortunately, it does not.
So what you're saying is that, in general, scalpel sharp, very pointed setups just aren't very good because they'd only do one thing well?
Well, but if they're going to win it all, then they need to do something that deals with the other team's damage, or applies tons of damage.
So, Triple Balgorn would be good against a team where they brought Triple Abaddon, which is also a very poor decision. But since all they can do is turn off hardeners, but even if they're not doing damage or they can't get in range, like if they had come up against a sentry team with 3 Balgorns, they're going to do nothing. They're just going to lose. It's a bad setup.
Yeah, the only choice they would have, or only what they might do well, is if they brought a lot of assault frigates and focused the drones on those Armageddons instead, for example, in that matchup. But they had no support as such, except 1 assault frigate. It was just a little bit strange.
Yeah, it was a little bit strange. All right, we do have Clockwork Pineapple versus Choke Point coming up, and we do have the graphics on screen now. Clockwork Pineapple they've edged through some maybe not so notorious teams. Choke Points lost to Exiled Ones, and then defeated Jihad Squad and Razor Alliance. And Razor Alliance,
Well, Clockwork's had two easy wins and a predictable loss. Choke Point, they defeated Razor, and they're not horrible. So I think I'm going to go with... Go ahead.
Hey now, stop. CSB Soundwave is making a face like Razor is horrible. But
it was not a Razor's horrible face.
They on Tranquility ran an incredible campaign to take Cobalt Edge, one of the most coveted regions in all of EVE Online, and kick out one of the strongest PvP alliances, which would be...
I have no idea.
Oh. I'm blanking on their name, so I had to throw it out there. But yes.
IRC.
Yes, IRC.
I don't think Razor are a top-tier team.
Yeah, they're more the ship tier teams. Yeah,
they're the ship tier team. I mean, they're a big alliance and they compete, and I think that's awesome. But I mean, I don't know. If you want to be the best team in the tournament, then I think there's better teams that you can impress by winning against than Razor. Anywho, enough of that. Clockwork Pineapple versus Choke Point. Dolan.
I'm gonna go with Choke Point just because I'm interested in finding out what the choke point is. So when you get so mad that you just have to go for something.
I'm going to go with the Greater Groon, Clockwork Pineapple, just because got a few bros over there.
I'm going to go with Racer just because they've been so embarrassed this tournament so far that I believe their leadership has said, do or die.
Ooh, serious business. I'm going to go with Clockwork Pineapple because that guy does have a pineapple every single year at FanFest, and I kind of like that.